Gonna wait for YouTube to gather me a little audience. If they do gather me a little audience. As you come on here, hello, spiritually unrated tarot, welcome. As you come on here, I need you guys to hit the thumbs up button and to tell me where you're tuning in from in the comments section below. Also, let me know if you can hear me clearly. This is going to be a blackout reading. It's going to be a reading full of channeled messages. So as you come on here, welcome in Colorado. Thank you for hitting the like button. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And also hop on over and subscribe to my sister channel. I'm going to tag it in the comments. And it's really interesting day today. If you saw my other live, you know that one of my rescue dogs had a dance with death today. He is fine. Both of the dogs are fine, but he got a poisonous frog. And I have relocated literally to the wild, wild west, and I have to figure out how to work around these animals that were here before I moved here or before this home was built. And it's a daily occurrence with the spirit animals, you guys. I got to be honest with you. I've had coyote spirit, a lone coyote spirit come to me. I've had toad and frog spirit and lizard spirit, rabbit spirit. So a lot of abundant spirit animals have come. But I am going to take measures to protect my dogs humanely. But tomorrow is an even more special day. That would have been my grandma LaGolda's birthday. And she will always forever be my favorite human. And she's the reason I garden. She's the person that taught me to garden. And my garden is lush and beautiful, and I feel like she's the inspiration for it. Sorry about my sore throat, you guys. I literally was yelling at my dog while the fire department was here to drop a frog today for an hour. So my voice is pretty charred. But I want to talk to you guys about God consciousness, because I feel like I'm channeling a lot of messages. And a lot of you come to me, and when you come to me for a reading, you want peace about a situation, you want answers, you want direction. And I want to tell you what I would do if I were in many of your positions, and I have been before, when I was seeking outwardly, when I was seeking answers, and when I was seeking directions on which way to go. It's been several years. I don't seek anymore, and I find all the time. But I want to tell you, I want to give you some advice, and then I'm going to tell you how you can protect yourself against lower vibrational energies. But I want to start by saying, if you tune into this late, definitely go back and listen to it from the beginning. And thank you for hitting the like button and telling me where you're tuning in from. So if you're seeking anything outside of yourself, whether it be knowledge, whether it be what your partner's up to, whether it be love, whether it be food, shelter, anything, anyone can find some food for themselves, right? Anyone can find shelter. Anyone can go out and have children and cultivate a family. All that is easy. All that is easy. Even when it looks hard, it's easy. But the duty and the law of the spiritual teacher is to learn the secrets and to act as a mirror to show you the light within yourself that we all have, but often it's pushed down because of our upbringing, because of people who are jealous, envious, want to hold us back from our destiny. But we all contain that light within. And it's the light within that helps you realize God and God consciousness. That light doesn't just shine within a few individuals. It doesn't shine within saints or sages. It doesn't shine within star seeds or light workers. It shines within everyone. But along our way, things happen and it gets dimmed. I will tell you that anyone who tries to dim your light, sorry, oh my God, my curtains were blowing in the wind outside and it scared the crap out of me. Anyone who tries to dim your light in this lifetime, especially if you have a mission, will suffer major karmic consequences, especially if they don't make good on what's happened. So say you're a wellness coach, right? Say you're like a holistic wellness coach and you break up with someone and they don't want you to be found on the internet and they try to hide all your work. This actually happened to me. All those thousands of people that don't get the knowledge, the wellness knowledge, the healing knowledge, that don't heal themselves from cancer, etc. All those people that miss your teachings because of that person's ugly deeds from jealousy and envy, all that karma comes back on that person that tried to halt and stall your growth. So you have to learn to let things go. And that's what I talked about in that earlier live, about realizing that everything is pre-written. If you care to learn, you can learn from anything. You can learn from the wind. You can learn from a plant. Even a plant can teach you something. It can teach you how it grows. It can teach you how it doesn't grow. You can learn from a bird. You can learn from listening to birds chatter amongst themselves. You can learn from a beast like the poisonous frog today. You know, I'm learning how to protect my animals. You can learn from a thief. You can learn from a taker, a liar, a cheater. You can learn from anyone and anything on this earth. You can learn from a stuffed animal. You can learn how it's sewn together. You can learn from a house you live in, from a car you drive. You can learn from a speck of dust, a leaf on the ground. The unfortunate thing is that everyone wants to teach and no one wants to learn, right? So everyone wants to open their big mouth, but no one wants to stay silent and absorb. And if they do, it's usually not for the right reasons. It's to make a buck. And that's not the spiritual path. That's not the spiritual way. I'm not saying if you're choosing the spiritual path, you have to be broke. We all know that's not my mindset at all. I love to live in beautiful homes and I have beautiful things. I drive a beautiful car. I wear beautiful things. It's not what I'm saying. The unfortunate thing is everyone wants to teach and no one wants to learn. So who is truly great? The one who does what is not easy? Anybody can do like the everyday things. You can find food. You can find a little shelter. You can build a family. You can have a baby. You can lie down and have sex and have a baby. There is no greatness in that. Many people do that. Usually that's 90% of everyone's path. Even animals do that. There's no greatness in it. When many people do something, there's no greatness in it. You'll notice I stopped doing the readings because everybody's doing them now. There's no greatness in that. So what should we do that is difficult? Know the truth. And the way you know the truth, the way you figure out the truth, is for that sake you need to honor someone and the help of someone who has already seen the light. And that's difficult for a lot of people to do because a lot of people hold jealousy and envy in people who see the light. And they throw a lot of obstacles in their way to halt or slow their journey while trying to underhandedly take from them. But when we honor the people who see the light, because we know deep down we're learning from them, that's when magic happens. Let me grab something real quick, you guys. Hold on. It wouldn't be like me to not have my phone charged. So let me plug this in. My phone is laying against a stuffed animal I got in Oregon. I want to share some other things with you. Things that I feel are important and things that I think are important for us to know. So how do you get what you want? First, we know we have to learn the truth. And if we are honoring people who don't represent the truth, big corporations, big pharma, etc., we're not spreading the truth. So the first thing is, don't run after any God. Don't run after any false truths. Be a good person. Do good things. Be happy. Be peaceful. Be happy at where you're at. Don't allow your peace and your joy to get ruined or sabotaged. That happened to me a few years ago. For a long time, for many years, when I was being attacked. And I knew I was being attacked and I couldn't prove it. And once I finally figured out who it was liberating. It was tough, but it was liberating. And now when things happen, like I had a woman, rarely happens these days, but I had a woman post something really harsh about me. She's like, oh, you're your money and your looks and you're this and you're that today. And I was just like, how can I be of service for you? How can I be of service to you? You look like you need a hug. Don't allow your peace and joy to get ruined. Stop running after the answers. Stop pretending you know the answers. Stop running after the answers and the answers will find you. Stop running after God and God will find you. when you are ready, God finds you because He lives within all of you. Stay away from all the wants. Then all the things you once wanted will want you. Including God. I had an interesting thing happen right before I moved here. I was once madly in love with a man. I spent a few years with him, and I was so in love with this man, quite a bit older than me. I loved him from the first time I saw him, and I've since moved away from that area and all of that twice now. And every time I move away, he shows up to help, to be a kind person. He's the type of person that would give you the shirt off his back. Even when he can't, he would do that. But I chased after that man for so long. There's a big age gap between us too. Like I said, he's older. I loved him so much. And I chased after him so much that it became something that I no longer wanted because it was so difficult and so hard on me. And so I learned a valuable lesson. When you stop chasing things, they come to you. I mean, he flew to do a walkthrough with people, and the walkthrough ended up not happening because the people didn't show up. But I mean, he flew in to do that for me because I didn't want to have to deal with just drama from unstable people. He was there for me. And I wasn't there for him in the same way. And it wasn't out of spite or malice or anger. It was that, you can only go for so long without someone giving you the truth until you no longer seek the truth, right? And what I spoke about today, about how everything is pre-written, when that situation began to go south, I'll never forget, I had lived in this house for like 8 or 9 years, and I had never had a rodent in it. This was in California. Sorry if I'm skipping around. And there was a mouse in the house. I'll never forget it. And mice symbolize someone creeping in your life. Someone creeping in your business, someone trying to sabotage you, someone. And so at the time it was all unfolding, I knew that there were saboteurs around our relationship, people that were jealous, people that saw we were living bi-coastally, people that saw that we were doing, even though we fought like cats and dogs, we appeared to be doing well. I knew that people were trying to sabotage it. I knew exactly who it was as well. It was I'm not going to say, but be a good person, do good things, be happy, be peaceful. Don't allow your peace and joy to get ruined, not even for a day or an hour, because I allowed that to go on by saboteurs for too long. And when you stop giving energy to that, everything changes. Those saboteurs still watch me on the internet. They're probably watching this right now. They still look at my Instagram stories, Facebook stories from fake accounts. They still read all my posts. They're taking notes, especially when they see I'm doing well and abundant. They still try and try and try to emulate and mimic. But because I don't give it energy, it dies, it fails, it it looks sad, you know, it looks pathetic. And I don't even have to look at it to know that. So I want to talk about how everything is pre-written again. We pick our parents before we get here. They teach us the valuable lessons by their love and affection or their non-love and no affection. They mold us into who we're supposed to be. And then along the way, we get roughed up by these karmic interactions with people from our past lives. But I believe humans can do nothing against God's will. I believe everything is pre-written, and I have a strong belief about that. When I went through that breakup a few years ago, that was really hard for me. I think it's been 5 years now. I had a soulmate come in, and no one else would have been able to move me out of the state of, I would say, obsession that I was in, but this person. And we all have lightness and darkness, and I helped that soulmate discover his darkness by mirroring my own. But you know, we have these people come into our lives, sometimes to veer us off track, and sometimes to get us on the right track. And sometimes they're in our lives for a short period of time, sometimes a long period of time. But I was so broken at the time. This was about 5 years ago. I was so incredibly broken at the time that I couldn't even look the person in the eyes because my self-esteem was so low from being, you know, told I wasn't worthy, that I was a loser, that I wouldn't be able to make it on my own, etc. I think I've done pretty well. That I couldn't even interact with this person normally. I could not even interact. I remember going to see a doctor and him saying, well, maybe you have like attention deficit disorder, or you've got, or here's a pill, or here's this. And later finding out, and I knew this already, that my IQ was super, super high. And I've always known I can remember whatever I read, numbers, words, etc., a whole book. I can tell you what page something's written on in a book. And I just have never wanted to accept that part of me. And when that soulmate came in and he mirrored my greatness and my beauty, my aesthetic beauty, my intellect, my body being on point, and all of me, when he mirrored that, I couldn't handle that at that time because I was so broken. And I love my ex from 5 years ago. I love him. He taught me so much. I definitely was never crazier over someone than him. Definitely. I don't think I had ever felt that way about anyone. There was a lot of karma there, a lot of past life karma. You know, we were each other's Saturn. He had Saturn in Pisces, and I had Saturn in Cancer, which is on the cusp of his sign. So, and he's a cusper. So I can read charts very well and do all the, moon and Mars and all that. And so, it's very, very, very difficult to let things like that go. And like I said, I think he was over 10 years older than me. So, but I also have had another person that was obsessed with me, where we had similar placements. And hopefully that person has done work to let me go, because he was a big time saboteur in my life. But my ex from 5 years ago was not. And the soulmate that came in to mirror me and where I was at that time and my insecurities and my greatness, that was interesting, because I've never felt such a connection that wasn't an attraction connection, even though there was an attraction there for sure. It was a soul connection, a soul bond. It was a soul bond, and a deep one, a deep one. And it was odd because the soulmate was younger than me, and yet I felt like he was older than me. I felt like he had a lot of control that I don't think he had tapped into, that could have been put on me in a good way. And so it's interesting dynamics. And I do believe that he is a family member that actually crossed over. That often happens. If you listen to my favorite reader, Queen of Cups, she's in Sweden. She's talked about that in some of her older readings. You should listen to her older readings. They're fabulous. And I do believe our family members, who cross over, can come back as other people. And I actually thought that about him, and I've said this before to you guys. From the first day I asked him when his birthday was, and he said the year, and it's the year of my father passing. And so, strange things, strange things. So God uses some people to give us an experience. It's all for our education. Rewarding and punishing both come from God and are for our benefit. If we think that way, we won't be projecting negative vibrations towards the people who we think are negative to us. You see? Even by thinking that they are negative, you are projecting a negative image. So it's hard for you to love the people who project a negative image towards you, because you feel they are negative. The minute you say he or she is negative, you're giving yourself an internal message. But the moment you say he or she is negative, but I'm going to love them anyway, you're giving yourself a higher vibrational message. I treat people who I think are negative as instruments along my journey. And that may sound using and abusing, but it's not. It's not. Not at all. Not at all. I treated the woman today that attacked me on social media as an instrument for my soul's growth and evolution. That's what we do when we evolve. I was recently discriminated against at the place I paid like $60,000 to live in. I need to release that video. I made a video while I was in the midst of that like 4 months ago. I need to release that video. It's a at night video where I have candles lit talking about the situation. And it was a couple, and the woman was my age with 10 kids. I can't even imagine having one, but 10. No shame in that at all. Blessed. But not married. 10 kids with with someone not married. And she had major issues. She did. She had major childhood issues. When you meet someone in adulthood, 40s, 50s, 60s, and they're talking almost instantly about their childhood trauma, that's a very unhealed person. It is. And I just got to call it like I see it. And that's a person that does need some help. And at first I tried to help, and then I was reminded that I was paying to live in a place and it wasn't my job. And my privacy was gravely disturbed there. Gravely. And when I decided not to stay, when they offered me a renewal, they started trying to get me for money, finding me $800 for a dog that they had known about since the day he was there and collected money on every month. It was bad. It was really bad. And then they were trying to find me for something else. Then they were threatening, to, after they had offered me a renewal, threatening to kick me out. And I mean, it was horrible. It was very retaliatory. And I hired an attorney, and I handled it, and may sue, actually. I'm being really, really, a lot of people are wanting me to go after them. And it's almost like I'm on the edge, but when I think about it, it depends on if I end up getting, I'm supposed to get some a deposit back. But when I think about the low vibration I was sucked into living there for 2 years, and I mean, it was low. And I look at my videos and I look at my smile and I look at what a performer I am and how I was able to rise above that bullshit. I feel really, really proud of myself. Really proud. Thumbs up if you've ever been in something like that. Because what had happened was they saw me, I think they were having trouble paying their bills, and they saw me, a single woman, single-handedly step into their home for 2 years and handle the bills with ease. And they saw me go on the news there, and they saw me write a book there, and they saw me gain clients there, and they saw me working with well-known people there. And I think the woman got jealous. I think the man liked my stability of monthly money, but I think the woman got jealous. It was very obvious, especially when I set a healthy boundary that I didn't want her coming on the property all the time. But my ability to rise above came when I began to use the situation as an instrument. I in the middle of it thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to pack up a 3,000 square foot home full of shit. Move. This is going to cost me 30 grand. Oh my God, what? The moment I began to shift my thinking, like, oh, I get to pack up a 3,000 square foot home. Better yet, I get to hire a team to do it for me. And I get to relocate to some place that is going to be magical. And you know what? I'm going to make this next place my forever home. When I changed my mindset, and that moment, and I'm talking that very moment, the harassment stopped from them. They were emailing me all the freaking time. I mean, it was like, first it was text, then it was email. It was like every day. Like, I would have a really great day. I would be FaceTiming with my mom. I would have made a bunch of money. And then all of a sudden I get the nasty email of them wanting money or something. So the moment I decided to shift, and it was actually my sister, Cassandra, that shifted me out of that. She knew that something was going on. You know, sisters, we have a spidey sense when one's in trouble. And I have two older sisters. My sister Cassandra knew something was going on. She just started texting me all the time. She never texts me. Like we text when something's going on or when we have something funny to say, but not like every day. She started texting me really positive stuff to shift my vibration. Talk about a spiritual healer in the corporate world. That's my sister. That's both my sisters, actually. One does it in a different way, Capricornian way. But she started texting me, okay, you're gonna have to at least order what did she say? I need to go back and look at her texts. They were so positive though. And it shifted me. I shifted out of it and I was like, you know what? This is going to be done. And I started walking through that house saying, the perfect home is going to be presented to me within the next 2 weeks. I remember I was saying that all the time. I was like, the perfect home is going to be presented to me within the next 2 weeks. The perfect home is going to be presented to me within the next 2 weeks. It's going to be my forever home. I'm going to own it. It's going to be in the mountains. It's going to be this. My garden is going to bloom within 3 weeks there. My garden looks like I've had it for years. I have full on, I'm already growing 70% of my food here, to where the other place, nothing grew. It grew the first season and that was it. And so, you know, when you've planted seeds and they blossom, you're in the right spot. And I remember looking at this place and thinking, I can't move to my Saturn line because that will be a shit show. But then I did the Chinese astrology, the numerology on the area, the house, the everything, and my own. And I realized it was literally built for me. And in the moment I realized that this was going to be my home, I was going to make it happen no matter what. And I was going to live in peace here and not be, harassed by someone who had childhood issues and jealousy issues and I don't know, would go into psychosis, manic states where they needed to like come over right then and talk to me right then. And I was paying to live there. The moment I shifted myself into this next chapter being the best, most profitable, most successful, happiest vibration of my life, I knew that everything was going to change. And talk about my sister shocking the living hell out of me. She is the reason I am like literally here right now. And she doesn't watch any of this, so I can say this. Her text messages when I was like rock bottom, like rocked my world. And I'm getting so like I'm getting so Pisces on you. I'm getting so Piscean. It's the second time she did that in my life. Once when I had an eating disorder when I was about, 22 or something. And once that, like, it was the second time. She can lower my vibration too. She was like pointing out a couple things when she was here the other day. I was like, dude, stop. But the fact that she did that was awesome. It was so great. And it made me know I was making the right decision because I'm closer to family. They've already been here to visit. So the best way to heighten our vibration, believe it or not, is to use sound, frequency. Sound. If you've read the Emerald Tablets and the Law of Hermetics, you know that the Egyptians used the vibration of sound to build the pyramids. The longer you listen to music or frequency of sound, every cell in your body will begin to repeat your mantra or your prayer. Then the whole system begins to heal itself. The whole personality, the body, the mind, everything will vibrate on that wavelength. You know, the holy word is like a radio wave. Prayer is like a mantra. With practice, you'll be able to tune your heart radio, the vibration of your heart, onto where you want to be, onto that same frequency. You'll be able to actually heal your body through sound. I do it all the time. I play the singing bowls, also a gift from my sister, the closet healer. That I'm going to start calling her CC or CH, closet healer. I play my singing bowls almost every morning, and they bring me into a state of peace. I've actually got them in the front room here on a beautiful wooden thing I had made for them, and I play them every day, just by myself for the dogs. The dogs come and lay on me. Birds come to the window. Like literally, I play them every day, and I listen to music at night. I light candles. I listen because I like to keep that vibration high and elevated. Thank you for the likes, you guys. Thank you for subscribing. So where should you begin? Where should you begin? What are you eating? What are you taking in? It's not what you take in, it's what you leave out. It's not what you take in, it's what you take out. I'm doing this on my cell phone. I just had a message come in from someone on Instagram, and it was very shallow. It's like, you are so attractive. Have you ever thought about being a model? And normally that would lower my vibration. A lot of people that would raise their vibration. For me, it's polar opposite. It's something I've heard since I was like 13, and I'm over it. And it happens every day still. I thought it would get better as I got older. It actually has gotten worse. But in order to tune that person out, I don't know if you caught that. I said, I don't even know if I did it out loud, but I said, So I kind of, like, Shanti. Shanti means peace. But it also has that peaceful vibration. It's very powerful. When you fill your system with that vitality of sound and vibration, with that health and happiness, it doesn't matter what state the body is in, you can transform it. We weren't meant to fill ourselves up with all this food stuff, all these chemicals, all these mixtures, all these concoctions, all these packages, even the healthy vegan packages. I'm guilty of, I have chocolate every night. Not a big deal. Not a big deal because of the state of my body at this point in time of years of cellular cleansing. But for some of you, you need to go back. And it's time because you have work to do on this earth. You need to let go of the weed. You need to let the weed as a suppressant of what your true expression is. I don't care if you say that it helps you be creative. It does not, my friend. You're welcome, Stephanie. Someone just said something in the comments. Her name was Stephanie. The alcohol is a suppressant. The makeup you slap on your face is a depressant. It's full of chemicals. The fluoride you use on your teeth is a third eye killer. Come on, my loves. Clean it up. Thank you for liking this video and commenting. It helps get the video shared on the main feed. If you're a person that constantly feels competition with others, I have something interesting to share with you. It's a competitive business world. It's a competitive and dating world. It's competitive everything. I've never felt competition with anyone but my own self. And that's the God's honest truth. 150%. But I've had a lot of people feel competition with me and attack me a lot. It's part of my astrology. I'm a Vishakta Nishaktra. And when you're a Vishaka, that's like a Beyonce, Scarlett Johansson, Sharon Stone. It's like a very powerful Nishaktra, and people want to take that Nishaktra down. So it's very hard to have a straight perception of yourself when you are constantly comparing it to those around you, and even worse, those people you've never met or just see as better than you. It's very, very detrimental to your livelihood and your wallet. Okay? Some of the most greedy people, if you look at the Chinese astrology, in my opinion, and in many others, are the goats and the snake. The rooster can be a little greedy as well. The goat and the snake, though, take the cake. The goat is all about money, never about service. They claim to be, but they're not. This is Chinese astrology. And the snake is the thief. Snake is represented by the number 3. And that's why I'll never live in a 3 house number again. My house numbers at my last house added up to be a 3. And 3 used to be my favorite number, but it's not any longer. Because I've learned, I've been educated. I have a friend that's highly educated and has educated me in numerology. And number 3 is about thievery. And I was stolen from literally by the owners of that house towards the end. And so you have to be mindful of being jealous and envious of others. Learn people's numerology, learn their Chinese astrology. You know, don't attack people. You never know who you're attacking to. So one thing I've learned, and this is very important. Ooh, I'm so sorry you got that tattoo. Let's find another meaning for it. Well, it's a 9. 3-3. Someone just said they got a 333 tattoo. 333 adds up to be a 9. That's a very powerful spiritual number. 9 see everyone as the same. They're the hermit. So they're the spiritual teacher, the hermit. Okay, so you'll never have difficulty in getting enough customers if you are not a competitive, greedy, jealous person. A lot of money is made by gimmicks, by adulterations, and things that are not true and purposeful, by false advertising, by stealing other people's ideas. But if people come to realize that you are running an honest business, they will certainly come. You will never have difficulty in getting enough customers if what you are doing is of your own creation, your own idea, your own creativity, your own development, and if it doesn't come from a place of looking in on what your competitors are doing, but only focusing on yourself. I have clients that pay me right now thousands of dollars to tell them what to eat, what to do, to talk to them about their chart. That's why I don't do readings anymore. And we're about to develop a program that combines the wellness and the life coaching, the intuitive life coaching together. But what I do comes from a place of vast wisdom, of having a lot of people try to take me down and sabotage me over the years. Lot of knowledge, a lot of heartache, a lot of sadness from being attacked, and a lot of authenticity from truly knowing how to help others get on the right path and the right track. You know, I've been interviewing a lot of people on my podcast, and I'm starting to lose my voice because my dog this morning, I was yelling at him to drop a venomous toad. So you'll have to excuse me. But what I do comes so naturally to me. There's never any refunds. There's never any complaints. There's never any shortage of clients. There's no lack. There's no need. When you're constantly searching for something to make $1 or $1,000 or $3,000, you're searching for yourself. You've lost yourself. Where are you? Go find yourself. Go back. Go back and listen. Go back and learn. Go back and find yourself. Yeah, a lot of heartache, Michelle, with those haters, but also a lot of sadness. When I figured out who my haters were, and I didn't even have to call them out by name, it's really interesting how it happens. I called them out by the situation, and they came forward. They stepped forward on my social media, and it became very obvious, and I don't want to give that any attention. But, you know, when you call something out by the situation and they step forward, you know, and they know you know. But people like that make money and lose money very quickly, and they never quite get on top. And what is getting on top anyway? If you're ever stolen from, whatever is stolen from you served you already. Bless his heart, I must have asked him 15,000 times, did you lock the car door? And he was like, yeah, I did, stop it. And I have to give him credit. I was such a nagger that, can you guys still understand me even though I'm losing my voice? Can you still? I'll have it back tomorrow. I was such a nagger that I understood why he ignored the question. Let me know in the comments if you can still understand me. But we were stolen, computers stolen, phones stolen, crystals stolen. I remember I was most upset about the handbag and the crystals. And I bitched and complained about that handbag. The handbag was a really expensive handbag, and I think I was upset because I don't buy leather goods anymore because I'm vegan. And it was like a $7,000 handbag from before I was vegan. And I love crystals, and my crystals were stolen. I remember a shaman that I worked with in San Diego told me that they were stolen because I didn't need them anymore. I had healed and I didn't need them anymore. One was a really rough rose quartz and I loved it. I love that crystal. And I love that black and gold handbag. But if you're stolen, those items have served you. Even if it's money, the money wasn't serving you, more will come. Losses are often our biggest eye openers of what we need to do. A loss in love, a loss in tangible things, a loss of a home, a loss of a child, loss of a pet. I have such a great appreciation for my animals. Every day I take time with them. And nothing was harder in my life than to lose my dog. Not even losing my dad. My dog was my dog Roger was the greatest loss to me ever. I time traveled back to the house I just left 3 days ago to pull my dog's energy out of there. And he's with me now. Life is filled with these tests of loss, of loving and loss. But only the lucky people will get tested. Only the lucky people get taken from. Only the lucky people get tested in this way. Because without these experiences, you might have thought that you were a wonderful, like, yogi, Zen doctor. Because there was nothing to disturb you. Everything seemed beautiful. Only when adversities, heartache, thievery, lies, bullshit come do we have an opportunity to prove what we have learned. So wrap your brain around that, okay? Only then can we prove what we have learned. If I hadn't had my heart broken, if I hadn't had some psychotic karmic try to sabotage my business for 10 years with his partner, do you think I would be as woke as I am? Absolutely not. If I hadn't had someone deliberately try to slow my growth on the internet for years, try to hide me on the internet, try to slow my money, do you think I would be as resourceful as I am? Absolutely not. Was it fair? Absolutely not. Are they paying for it karmically? Absolutely. I don't have to look their direction to know that. If I hadn't had people I had given $56,000 from to live in their house try to work me for money, would I have learned the power and strength of getting out of complacency and comfortability and telling them to fuck off? No. No. I wasn't going to be taken advantage of. I had to draw the line in the sand. So it's through these adversities that our strength comes. And you need to remember that. If I hadn't had an ex lie to my face that I love so dearly, that I spent I think like 4 years with, that gave me everything I wanted, that spoiled me rotten, but hurt me with words and lies, would I have been as strong as I am today and as wise as I am to see through lies? No. If I hadn't had that beautiful soulmate, my God, they don't make men that even resonate with his outer inner beauty show up to mirror my behavior, show me my beauty, both exterior and interior, Show me my addictions. Show me my heart. Would I have been able to ever love again? No. And if I hadn't shown him what he probably perceived as ignoring or not interested, which was really just low self-esteem in me, would he have become stronger? No. This is how this works. We come and we rub up against each other to learn these lessons, to grow one another, to level each other up so we can walk our highest path for our highest good. 13 people in the room, 13 thumbs up. 13's my favorite number because it's the number of a past life soulmate and my life paths together. I love you guys. And thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing to my sister channel, Andrea Cox TV. I hope to see this channel grow. It seems to have stopped. I've been focusing on a third channel that's getting quite big that I haven't released because, again, the saboteurs. But I really hope to see this channel grow. So let's get it back up there again. Like, comment, subscribe. I love you. Be well.